Live on WFLA now. Feel good and live your best life with Bloom Health Club. Here's Gail Guayardo.
Welcome to the Bloom Health Club, everyone. Today, we are spreading holiday magic, but our guests bring a sparkle into the lives of so many women, and they do it year-round. Stephen Anderson and Andrew Ashton, known fondly as my Fairy Godfathers, have been helping young girls and women with the gift of beauty since 2010, and we are super excited to have them on our show today. Gentlemen, welcome. It's such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Glad to be here.
And I want to introduce you to Sarah Smith. She's my producer. She's going to be directing the show today and jumping in with some questions and comments as we move along.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
So let's talk about this mission, which spreads so much joy. And I've had the pleasure of witnessing it firsthand many times over the years. You started this as a grassroots effort back in 2010. And for many years, you paid out of pocket to help people. How did you guys come up with the idea?
Oh, Lord. I think it just kind of evolved. Stephen and I have been in the beauty business for many years. Stephen, obviously, a lot longer than myself. But we just decided that this is a way that we can give back, how we know how to give back to women. We've been working with women for many, many years. And
Decades.
And helping them feel beautiful. We just decided that we wanted all women to feel beautiful. We want every woman, no matter what they're going through, because everyone's going through something. So we want to make sure that women, that they feel that beauty.
And you did it for so many different reasons, whether it's a young girl down on her luck that just wants to go to the prom but couldn't otherwise afford it, or maybe it's a woman who's battling cancer. You step in with the gift of beauty, but it goes so much deeper than the aesthetics.
Yeah, we try to be a little bit psychologists at the same time, but it's about trying to show them that you're not a victim of your circumstances. This isn't really what your life is going to be. It can be anything you want it to be. We just are able to help the outside portion of it, and then we kind of talk through the inside portion of it. But everybody, deserves to feel good about themselves and to look good. They said, you look good, you feel good. It's that kind of a thing. So, we started it out as a lark, just doing a contest to see if, make me a supermodel. And what we thought we would get and what we ended up getting were two totally different things. We thought we were going to get teenage girls that really wanted to do the whole glam experience and all that stuff. And instead we got middle-aged women that were looking for some kind of a boost. The very first one was a 9-year-old boy wrote in for his mom and said, my dad doesn't say my mom looks pretty anymore, and I wanted to look pretty.
Yeah.
And so,
well, and two, I wanted to show women that the women that we see on magazine covers isn't all that it's cracked up to be. We can pretty much take any woman and make her look like a supermodel, and I want women to experience that. I want women to feel that beauty, and that's why we came up with this concept many, many years ago in doing it. So, and it's grown
word of mouth. I remember I heard about you guys word of mouth. I think like a friend of somebody that worked with my husband, like, oh, this, I'm like, fine. I got a Channel 8. It was when I was still a journalist and morning news anchor here. And we grabbed a news camera and we came out to your incredible salon in Clearwater. And I didn't know what to expect, but I remember meeting a woman that was struggling with cancer. And she said, Gail, all I want to do is go to the bus stop and pick up my kids and feel normal. And that's when it really hit me that, beauty is much more than what's on the surface. It's the experience of feeling whole again. It's the feeling of having people care about you enough to do this for you. And then fast forward, I went to your inaugural gala, which was unbelievable. I mean, like I said on Bloom, the globally syndicated show that these gentlemen will be on Wednesday, I said, I have worked with well-established not-for-profits that couldn't even bring in half the people that you brought in or half the money that you brought in because people really get behind what you're doing.
They do. I think that, men and women alike, they know someone that's been at some sort of disadvantage. and they know what it's like to feel good about themselves. So I think it's a very common goal that we have, that I think everyone has knows someone that's gone through cancer or someone. So it's great.
And for us too, it's not just about the women. We have a lot of men that have jumped on the bandwagon as well. Some of our biggest sponsors are all men, and and they believe in what we do, and they feel that same way we do, that everybody deserves a break. Everybody deserves to feel good about themselves. And just the programs. It's not just the prom. It's we give scholarships out. We want to education. Somebody said, and I don't remember where it was even. I read it, but they said if you educate a woman, they can change the world. And
good.
so I think that says it all right there in a nutshell. We've worked with women. I've worked with women my entire career, and I have met some very dynamic women that can run rings around some of the men that I know. So it's that whole. There's no more of that women are inferior to men kind of thinking anymore. Women can most women that we know can outrun men.
Yeah.
So
and you hear that like when I was at the gala, there wasn't a dry eye in the house, but one of the women, and there were several that got up and spoke about how this experience changed their life. It was like a light switch moment for many of them. And one was like, listen, I had just lost my dad. It was a really hard time in my life. Like all the chips were down. And all of a sudden you're hearing of them in nursing school or, going in a new direction in life from that. And I think we can all look back at our past and think, okay, what one person touched me at an all-time low, like touched my life at an all-time low that really made me believe in myself, or at least let me believe and hope for more. And that's what you guys do.
Many years ago, I didn't think of it that way. But the more stories and the more follow-up stories that I hear from the women and young girls that we've helped, where they are now, years later, is incredible to me. And a lot of them have said that it was that hope thing. We provided some sort of hope for them at a point in their life where they thought they were hopeless. We hear this a lot from young girls, senior girls, high school girls, a lot of our prom recipients. We hear that they're kind of stuck in that secular culture where they just can't seem to get out of it. And just for someone to come in and show them that there's a little bit of glimmer out there and a little bit of, they get some good attention and some, make themselves feel beautiful. It is a way to find out that there are possibilities for you out there.
Well, it's that somebody cares. Mm-hmm. That there are people who care about you, even though you may think that they don't. We've worked with people that are victims of domestic violence or sexual abuse. We've worked with those kind of women as well. And they really feel like there's no way out. And just to have somebody say, let me give you a hand, let me help you, as we said before, just say a kind word to somebody can make all the difference in their day, not necessarily just even their life, if that's the case. You just be positive and say, I see you struggling, let me help you.
Well, and we had a woman last year, we did a photo shoot, and she was probably in her mid-60s, and we got her already. We did the photo shoot with her, and I brought her over because I wanted her to see the screen. I wanted her to see what she looked like. And she came around and she looked at herself and she wept because she said, I look beautiful. And I said, you are beautiful. And she said, but no one's ever really told me that. Aww. So sorry, get a little.
No.
This is what happens to me.
Yeah, it's really beautiful what you do, and both of you just returned from Los Angeles, where you went to 2 different cancer centers and worked with 60 different cancer warriors. You said the youngest was
22.
22, and the oldest was in her 80s,
in her
right?
80s, yeah.
And so, what was that experience like?
Well, that they're all different experiences. Everybody that sits in the chair looks at it differently because they're they're in a different stage of, of their illness, or, the younger women a lot of times are taking care of families. They basically don't have time to worry about themselves. So they want the normalcy that you said. They're looking for normalcy. So they'll sit in the chair and I just want to look like myself. And, we went armed with, I don't know, almost 200 wigs. We had, so you could choose whatever you want to be. Who do you want to be? So they had lots of options. Most women picked something that was similar to what they had. But then there were some that were very out there and wanted, but some of them were laughing and having a great time. Yeah. And other people were struggling.
Every woman handles it differently. When you're diagnosed with cancer, every woman really handles it differently on how they go through the whole process of it. But just providing a wig to help them feel, again, normal with themselves is huge. When a woman loses her hair, she feels like she loses some sort of femininity about herself. And especially if she's going through breast cancer and she's lost her breast as well, it's a huge stress on her in that moment in her life. And just we want to provide something that helps them
more so than almost a treatment.
Yeah,
people have said that this has been much more traumatic to me than going through chemo, which I never having had to do that, I find that so hard. I mean, chemo's rough, but you to equate it where losing your hair is more painful than going through chemo.
Well, and two, I've heard a lot of women say that with chemotherapy, we have a plan. The doctors have set us down. We have a plan on where we're going with it. When I lose my hair, I don't know what to do.
And as a woman, our hair is our identity. I think when you're going through breast cancer, I think that as women, we try to measure up and live up to so many expectations.
Oh, absolutely.
And it's gotten so much harder in
especially
today's world.
I was just going to say, especially in a world that's so focused on outside beauty.
Yep.
It's so
and filters.
Exactly.
Outside beauty
Life is filtered.
Everyone's trying to find
I hope
the
these
best
are
filter.
filtered.
I know. It's like, can we arrange for that? It's hard. It's hard for young girls. It's hard for women who are aging. The insecurity runs very, very, very deep. And I can't imagine dealing with the insecurity of losing your breast, losing your hair, losing your identity, the uncertainty of your health, the trajectory of what's going on, balancing your family, your job, all the things. And so it makes sense to me now as we sit down and talk. It's always made sense to me because I've witnessed it with my own two eyes. But now it really resonates as to why people's lives are so altered by this experience.
It's a devastating experience to, the big C word, nobody wants to hear it. And when we go to these centers, it's not just the patient that's affected by it. It's your whole family. If you have children, if you have, your husband, all those people are affected by what you're going through. As much as you're trying, most women are trying not to let that happen, but it affects everybody. And so it's a very pervasive disease as far as psychologically pervasive, that it goes out to everybody and it affects everybody.
And we're doing a podcast last week, and we had a recipient on. Her name is Carrie, and she was a wig recipient probably 7 or 8 years ago. And I mentioned that we provide this tiny little part in a woman's life when she's going through cancer, and Carrie said, "That's not a tiny little part you provided for us." And to me, I have always felt like it was just this little part that Stephen and I can do. But it really is bigger than what we feel it is. So it makes me happy to be able to do it.
Well, it's the community aspect too. Yeah. It's not just you make them feel beautiful and give them courage and give them a sense of normalcy of what you guys are talking about. But it's a community of women who've come together, and men, like you guys have mentioned, who've all gone through hard things, and you bond in that sense and have that going forward, like a community of women and men together.
Yeah,
it's important.
I love it.
It's beautiful. I want to ask you, you both run the successful salon in Clearwater. This has been a huge undertaking, one that has grown as more and more people hear about it. They come and back you financially. They back you with, things that you need to make these experiences possible. How do you think that it's changed the two of you as individuals on your life journey? Because, I think you all want to leave a footprint on this earth a little bit better than what you found, it goes without saying that you guys have done that for so many women over the years.
Well, I think that it's softened
ahead,
Stephen. It softened him. Stephen was very pessimistic. No, just kidding. I just think I don't know. When I talk about my foundation, when I talk about our foundation,
I'm almost gone.
I can get weepy because it fills my heart with more happiness than you know. And I think the bigger and the stronger and as we grow as a foundation, I mean, we're at well over 5,000 women at this point that we've helped, and most have been in the Tampa Bay area. I think that it's something that's what we think is small is not as small as I thought it was. So
well, and it's not at this point in time. It's not anywhere near what we thought it would be. We just started out doing this little thing, and we thought it was going to be fun and it was a lark, and we enjoy doing photo shoots, and we enjoy helping people but I never thought it would get to the point of where it is, and especially like the night of the gala. The two of us were we were in a room by ourselves, and it was like, I don't understand how we got here. How did this happen the way it's happened? And, for us, it's been 11, 12 years, whatever it is. But to me, it's happened in a snap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And again, grateful to all the people that have gotten behind us and, helped us to get, because we cannot do what we do without all the people that help us, you included. You've been a great supporter of us right from the beginning. So, I can't thank you enough for that.
Well, listen, I'm glad to do it. I feel like this job has been a gift to me for so many years, and that if I don't use it in a way to introduce people to folks like you, it would be a huge disservice to the Tampa Bay area. Like just to know you guys and to watch you guys and to talk to the people that you've helped actually has meant so much to me. I just think what you do is remarkable. I really do.
Yeah, we try. It's, as he said, it's something we do every single day. But we have a finite amount of time with somebody, 30 minutes, an hour, and you make that little change in their life for that hour. But these people that we help are kind of changed for good.
Yeah, I agree.
We try to give them, good, and it is every time we do this with someone, they're ever so grateful and thank you so much, and there's always crying and hugs and tears and so that's the rewarding part of it for the two of us. I don't cry as much as he cries. I try to hold it together, but
there's got to be one of us.
It's got to be somebody who cries. But it's
that's
it's
okay,
very
Andrew. I'm the
rewarding.
sappy one too.
It's very, very rewarding. It's turned out to be something much bigger and much better than we could have ever imagined that it would be.
And I always love to share that. Our very first prom girl, her name is Faith, and she's doing phenomenal still to this day. 11 years ago, we met her, and our intention was to just do her hair and makeup for free. We had no other intention. But when we met Faith, we realized that Faith didn't have the means to do any of it. So we came in, and Stephen and I decided to do everything. We had a custom dress made for her. Stephen taught her how to walk in her heels because she'd never walked in heels before.
In Vinoy Park.
I love it.
And we in the end, we gave her the whole evening, the whole prom experience. And we got her all ready, and she looked in the mirror and she said, "You guys are like my fairy godfathers." And I think that's where it started, and that's kind of where the name came from. And
her dad she was raised by a single father, and he said, "You guys are able to give her things that I cannot," and that's when it really kind of struck us at that point that we could do this on a bigger scale than just one person a year, and for him to say that. That was, that took a lot of guts to
humbling.
Say that.
It was very humbling.
It was very humbling for him to say, that. And, she was great, to she came in just for that. It was just for, hair and makeup. And I said, well, do you have a dress? And she said, oh, yeah, I'm borrowing a dress from a friend. And I said, oh, okay. She said, I have a picture. Do you want to see it? And she showed me the picture, and I was like, oh, girl, we can do better than that.
He did say that.
We can do better than that, So we just, again, knowing people and having people say anything you need, So I have a friend who designs dresses, and I said, I need a dress, and I need it like tomorrow. And she said, what do you want? I sketched out something, and she made it, and it was gorgeous. And it was something that she said she never would have had,
It's beautiful.
So it's I can help you, you can help me. That's how it is. People. There are a lot of good people in this world.
Yeah,
lots of good people that are willing to give of their time and their resources to people like us. And there are so many other organizations out there that the same thing. They tap the people they know, and as I said, there are lots of good people in this world.
Well, and what I love as well is our recipients have gone on to do good things as well.
Yeah.
One of them, she was one of our prime recipients. She spoke last year at our gala. She now has a nonprofit and helps with reading for elementary school ages.
Mm-hmm.
We have Jada, who sits actually on our committee now, our foundation committee, who's been one of our prime recipients. So when people are helped and find out that people are good, they want to do the same thing. They want to reach out and they want to start putting good out there as well.
Yeah, it's the whole pay it forward concept.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And say the gift that gives on keeps on. The
Keeps-
gift that
Keeps on giving.
Keeps on giving.
Yeah, you do whatever.
Well, this could not be a better holiday season episode. But as I said at the beginning of our podcast today, these men spread joy year round. How can we support you? How do we find you?
You can go to myfairygodfathers.net. You can see everything that we do. We have it all there on the website. And, you can donate. You can donate product. You can donate resources. We are not shy. We'll take anything.
Exactly. And people can just, contact us through the website also and let us know that they want to help. Or if they have someone in mind that we can help.
Yes, nominate someone. If you
Also.
know someone that really needs a boost and or is going through some trauma in their life, by all means, nominate them, and we will take care of them.
Well, Andrew, Stephen, you guys are just a joy to have in Tampa Bay, and I've so loved getting to know you over the years, and we hope to share more of your stories in 2025.
Thank you so much.